How's it going, guys? My name is Matt Gregory, and today we're going to be going through a cookie run. This is a new high score for me. The new cookie came out, Timekeeper cookie. They're a legendary cookie. They're quite good. They're kind of the top of the meta right now. Basically hitting every high score in every trophy race. It's a little obnoxious, but we're figuring it out. I don't have Timekeeper Maxed because I don't feel like shelling out money, and it's going to take a little bit of time before I do. So here's a quick guide to, with Sea Fairy Maxed, how you can get a really high score, even if your Timekeeper cookie's only level 4. I'm going to be playing on the sort of cupcake land. I forget the name of this one by name, and I'm just going to run you through some tips and tricks to get the top score. One of the first things you always want to look out for, this is more of a Sea Fairy tip, but you always want to be looking out for your blasts, anything that speeds you up, just because during Sea Fairy's ability, you'll be able to go way faster. So it's always important to keep that noticed. And you'll see here that I'm grabbing the last proc for the mirror. It's also always important to be focused on when you're going to get that final proc and you get the beam, because the more obstacles you're able to hit while the ability is going, the better it'll be. And see right there is me grabbing the speed at the very end so that I can get further than I normally would. One thing that's important to watch for the arcade area is that there's these little springs right here that I'm jumping on right now. You want to make sure that you're hitting every spring you possibly can, because if not, then your momentum might get thrown off and you might not end up at the same pace you want to be going for the best possible score. That's just kind of the way I've been playing it, and sometimes I'll notice I get offset, but this is what I see as the optimal path. Right here, you're just going to sort of skate in the middle there. You'll know you're on the right pace because you'll land right after hitting that first table. Now we're into the movie theater area, so it's just always important to be careful here. These stars, you might think they have a lot more points than the drop down right there to get the best thing for the mirror. You might think the small tiny stars have a lot of points. They actually don't, but it's always important to try to get as many of them as possible, because they always come up in large numbers, so then they're worth a ton. Here's where I hit the bonus time. A trick for bonus time is to mainly just kind of focus on going as far up as possible and sort of sticking to the top of the screen. That's where you'll just be able to get the most of the stars. Other than that, there's no strategy, and make sure you're staying at the top for when the bonus time ends so you can get the most on your way down. Obviously I didn't there, but that's fine. And then when you exit bonus time, you should be able to get speed for basically the entirety of Sea Fairy's ability. Yeah. There's not really much to say with this run until Timekeeper starts, because that's where a lot of the strategy comes in, but just play it well, and as long as you have Sea Fairy up, just make sure that you're focusing on the mirror. That's probably one of your biggest things, the mirror and the speed. Right, you'll see here the pet's ability is going to activate, wave drop. We'll grab your health here. You're getting really close to dying with Sea Fairy, and that's okay. You should be on track here. There's another part I notice is always a little bit awkward here in the DJ land. It's very difficult to position correctly, and it doesn't necessarily matter where you end up, but I noticed that this last mirror that's coming to me right here, it always comes to me at different points. So sometimes it comes a little bit earlier, sometimes it comes a little bit later, but so long as you're hitting as many of those floaty, music note things as possible, you'll get the best possible points. And right here we're going to close out, grab the speed for extra speed, and try to get as far as you can. I always like to land on this top platform right here to extend my distance, and here we go with Timekeeper. Timekeeper's ability, you just rapidly tap your slide button, and they give you these gigantic space wormholes. That's a really important part right there. Timekeeper Cookie has really strong magnetism, so it's always important to be hitting the obstacles with their body, while your magnetism gets a lot of those stars, because that's where you can make or break your entire score. And also another thing to look out for Timekeeper is that little dash. 2 times before she uses her ability again, she'll proc this little jump, and it's happening right here. It's a little bit tricky to time right. It can actually be really disorienting if you get it wrong. So my number 1 tip for that is just to always be looking at that meter, because you'll need to know to reposition yourself the second it happens. And see here, even in the ability, just because I'm focusing on destroying the obstacles doesn't mean I'm not collecting any of these stars. I'm super magnetic in this mode, and even flying jellies get magnetized to me too, so that's why the rainbow rails will come to me. During this last part, I need to figure out what the actual real strategy is, because I feel like I could be doing better here, and I know that last teleport definitely throws me off. When you get to these little cup, bowl, whatever they are, your score should be around like the 446 range. That's how you know you're doing really well. You could honestly get higher, but this is my high score run. I just happened to record during a high score, and here comes the last ability. You'll get some extra health from the wave drop, but it won't matter by the time you land. You'll be dead. And yeah, this is a bit of a trickier run, but honestly, I think I have the easiest time being consistent with it. And there you go, 484. I know that people can get way higher scores, and I obviously have the level 4 candy, so it's a little bit tricky, but that's the best I could do. Until next time, peace.